Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking out today's video. We're going to be going over what I've been up to with my training for about the last 6 weeks. It's been a while since my last training update, so lots of good tips for you guys today and lots of cool things have gone. I've been running a conjugate style program for about the last 6 weeks and the results I've been getting have been insane. I've just recently retested my sumo deadlift. 6 weeks ago, I hit 210. It's an all-time RM. And in the last 6 weeks, I haven't done that lift since. Yesterday, I did 200 for a set of 3. That felt fantastic. When I hadn't even done the lift in 6 weeks. Insane PR, all from just bringing up my weaknesses throughout my conjugate style programming. Last week, I also scored 155 over pause, which is 5 kilos better than my all-time best squat, which wasn't even paused. So my squats have come up too, which has been fantastic. My bench press variations have been coming along fantastic as well. Haven't tested my bench yet, not sure where that's sitting. What have I been doing with my programming to increase my squat and deadlift without even focusing on those lifts? So when it comes to my deadlift, what I've been focusing on in the last 6 weeks is really strengthening out my posterior chain and doing a lot of hinging exercises that aren't deadlifts off the floor. Because previously, about my previous 6 months, 4 to 6 months of training before my 210 deadlift, all my deadlifting training was off the floor. And I wasn't getting in much like strict hinge movements where I'm doing like a RDL, good morning, or a back extension. So all I've been doing for the last 6 weeks and getting a lot of volume in is back extensions and good mornings. So just practicing my hinges, getting really good at them, and my spinal erectors, my lower back, my hamstrings, my glutes, all have got bigger and stronger. So they're contributing to my lifts greatly. And then with my squatting training, what I've been doing is I want to get a good high bar squat. So I've been practicing just squat variations where I'm able to get real low and stay in a nice good position. So I've just been doing front squats on my max effort day, where I'm just doing a 3x5 linear progression, adding 2.5 kilos each week. And then on my volume days of my lower body, what I'm doing is I'm doing a high bar squat progression, a 4-week progression, then adding 10 kilos to that, going again. And just, make sure technique's dialed in, getting my strength each week, hitting the percentages that I want. And then make sure I'm doing some split squats to make sure I'm doing some unilateral leg work, just to make sure my hips stay healthy. I find that if I neglect my unilateral training too much, I usually get lower back or hip issues. So making sure I'm doing some sort of Bulgarian split squat in my training is super beneficial there. And then make sure lots of hamstring curls. It's so easy to neglect your hamstrings and strengthen your quads too much. So make sure I'm doing lots of hamstring work to make sure they're just as strong as my quads as best as they can be. Super important. Another thing I have been doing in my training that would be helping my lower body strength greatly is I've been training my abs directly and making sure I'm strengthening them. So I've been doing a lot of hanging leg raises, a lot of wood chops, and a lot of cable step outs to make sure I'm strengthening with rotation against rotation and just spinal flexion, so I'm strengthening my abs directly. I've really found that that's just taught me how to brace and stay way more stable in my position, along with our stronger spinal erectors and lower back from my back extensions and good mornings. I'm able to keep a lot stronger position for my lower body strength movements. As for my upper body training, I've been getting a lot of progress in both upper body strength and size, but it's not directly improving my bench. At the moment, in the last 6 weeks, I've just been playing around with my bench press technique with foot position and grip width, trying to find something that works best for me, and that if I did want to compete one day, I know how to bench my feet flat on the floor, because I'm used to benching with just on my toes. So if I ever did want to compete, I want to make sure that I can bench with my feet flat, so I have that option in the future. Even with my bench changing around, I've still been able to increase my closed grip bench. So I took my 3x5 on closed grip from 77.5 to 87.5. My overhead press, I did an all-time PR about 2 weeks ago where I did 60 for 5, and then I went up to 65 and got a set of 3, which is both huge PBs for me in my overhead press. I've also put a big focus on my weighted pull-ups now. So I tested my weighted pull-up a few weeks ago. I got 2 plates for a single, which was pretty cool, as I've never tested that before, so it was fun to see what I could get up to. And now I'm setting my eyes on how can I get myself to doing 3 plates. So I'm just doing sets of 5 of my weighted pull-ups at the moment, where I'm just adding a set each week until I get to 5 sets of 5 with the weight I'm on, and that just increase the weight, drop the sets down to a 2 or 3 by 5, and then just add the sets up, increase weight. One big thing I have noticed in my upper body training is I've finally been able to get my arms and shoulders to start growing just a little bit, as they are big neglected muscles, but I think they grow just a touch. And what I have been doing with them is just at my end of my workouts, I've been doing 3 myo-rep sets for each muscle groups. So when I'm doing my myo-rep sets, how I do them, like a rest pause set, same sort of thing. What I'm doing is I'm picking a weight that I can do about 12 to 25 reps with, going to failure till I can't do any more. I sit the weights down for 10 seconds and then I pick them back up, go to failure again, and I'll keep repeating that, only resting 10 seconds and then going to failure until I can no longer get 5 or more reps. So as soon as I get a set of 4, I'll have a long rest, 90 to 120 seconds before I do that again. I'll run that 3 times for each muscle groups, for biceps, triceps, and side raises. I've been really finding just like a standing dumbbell curl, standing dumbbell like side raise with like a bit of extra range of motion, which is really good for the shoulders. It just burns like crazy. And then just cable push downs. I've been found they've been really good, like the myo-rep sets, for building up my shoulders and arms, which have always been a lagging muscle group for me because they've been neglected. But the myo-reps allows me to get in a lot of high intensity work in an efficient amount of time at the end of my workouts, after I've already done a bunch of effort for my strength movements, which are my higher priority at the moment, though I still need to bring up my arms if I want to get better at my other lifts. My biggest takeaways from my last 6 weeks of this conjugate style program of what I think can be really beneficial for you is find a split that you enjoy. Find a way, like a style of workout that you really enjoy so you can be super consistent with it and you're motivated to come back in. I can already see myself running this style of program for like the next year or 2 or more, because I just enjoy it so much and I'm always motivated to go back into the gym and do it. So make sure the things you're doing in your workouts you enjoy. So with Conjugate, I have 2 lifts a week they get to max out on. So I get to max out on a lower body movement and max out on upper body movement, which keeps my training fun because I get to pick a new exercise where I get to go heavy on, which is something that's just, I really love to do. I like to do heavy singles, doubles and triples in my training. So making sure they're included in my week keeps me motivated, consistent, and getting results. Another key takeaway that I've taken from the last 6 weeks is attack your weaknesses. So for me, when my lower body training, my weaknesses was my core strength and my posterior chain. So I attacked my good mornings, my ab training, my back extensions. And the results were so clear that even without doing low bar squats or deadlifts, both those lifts got stronger because my weaknesses were then stronger. Go after your weaknesses. Just do it. It just gets insane results, especially when you're training for strength. And then add in myo-reps for your lagging muscle groups. Isolation work with myo-reps just allows you to get in so much volume at high intensities that it can just be really beneficial for bringing up lagging muscles. Thank you for watching the video. I hope there were some tips in here that you can apply to your training to get some good results. And yeah, have a good week, guys.